Hey everybody, thanks for coming. I hope your Arbitrum day is going well. My name is Jordan Lyall. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called VenturePunk. And today we're talking about the future of NFTs, specifically how the future is L2, even more specifically how the future is Arbitrum. I just gave this talk about 45 minutes ago at the main stage at ECC. So hopefully I've worked out all the bugs and we'll do all right. So I've been in this space a long time, started building in the Ethereum ecosystem in 2017. I first installed MetaMask to mint a CryptoKitty. And that was a real turning point in my career because it showed me that there's more to the blockchain than just sending P2P transactions. There is life, there is product, there is experience, there is art. There's so much more that we can build on top of this tech. So I've been building for the last 6 years. I was at Consensus for a while, launched a few startups. Been for the last couple of years been focused on NFT projects. I launched Don't Buy Meme in 2020. I launched NFTs.com, and we partnered with Warner Brothers and Sony, and we did some big movie studio collections. So I've been building on NFTs for many years now. And we're going to talk about why I'm really excited about the new project and why I launched my new project on Arbitrum. We launched yesterday, not even 24 hours ago. My latest product is called Prohibition. You can check it out at prohibition.art. It's a long-form, on-chain generative art platform. It's an open platform, and it's on Arbitrum. So we're one of the first generative art platforms, one of the first kind of like major entrants into generative NFTs, generative art on the Arbitrum ecosystem, coming at it full force. A lot of funding, a lot of amazing artists. Yesterday we launched prohibition.art. Our first project was called Monospatial by the amazing artist Emily Edelman. And it's 100 pieces. I jumped on right at mint, right at time, clicked the mint button, and it was already sold out. The whole thing sold out in 1.5 seconds. It was pretty insane. The founder of the project couldn't even mint one. So now I got to go to the secondary market. But it's just a testament to the facts that there are collectors that will go where the art is, and there are artists that will release where collectors are. So why not go to a layer 2 where it's a lot more easier to transact, it's a lot quicker. So we're going to talk a little bit about why we chose Arbitrum, why we launched a generative art platform. It's an on-chain platform. We're using Artblocks engine. It's the first time Artblocks engine tech is being brought to a layer 2. And before we get to why Arbitrum and why layer 2s, first we have to think about why NFTs. So in order to believe that there's a future for NFTs on layer 2, we first have to accept that there's a future for NFTs in general. It's not just some flash in the pan. It's not just monkey cartoons. There's so much more here that's going to power the future of culture, a future of digital value, the future of belonging to communities, etc. There are many reasons why I think NFTs are here to stay and will be a driving force moving forward. Here's just a couple of them. I really do think that they really do help create and maintain value in the growing crypto economy. Mention value and being able to join a community. It's NFTs that power this extra layer of incentives. When it comes to NFT art, which is my current obsession, I guess you'd say, NFTs, bringing art, tokenizing digital art, increases the quantity of art that's ownable, and it also enhances the quality and usability of the ownership of art. And I think, we all agree, the last kind of big bull run There were PFPs, there was art. I think one thing in particular that we might see kind of a big interest in the next bull run is the idea of memes on the blockchain, not only belonging to my identity, but my ideas and how I transfer them to you, how I communicate them. So I think there's going to be a new era, and we're already there, but a growing kind of cultural ownership concept where memes are authenticated and traded as digital assets. So that's why NFTs. Let's talk about why NFTs, the future of NFTs, are on layer 2s. So we talked about all this potential, and there's so many more examples that we could talk about, but obviously I believe that layer 2s unlock this unique potential in NFTs and the future of that. You guys are all here for Arbitrum Day. I don't have to preach to the choir. But as someone who has been trying to build usable blockchain apps for, real users for 5+ years now, this is really important for me, thinking about it on the product side, thinking about it like on the community and usability side. But if we're going to see the future of NFTs grow, we're going to have to drastically reduce gas costs, which we can do now thanks to Arbitrum. Drastically reduce transaction speeds, which we can do now thanks to Arbitrum. So it's really been an unlock for me as a product guy who's been grinding away on mainnet, who's tried some other side chains, to now launch on Arbitrum, have the backbone, have the security of Ethereum, and use the scalability, low gas costs, faster speeds, etc. of Arbitrum. That allows us, when we don't have to worry about every single time we mint, don't have to look at the gas price. Every time an artist puts a generative script on chain, they're not worried about what that gas cost is going to be. It allows us to kind of create this experimental playground, if you will, for product development and art creation and creativity in general. Because it doesn't matter how many you mint. It doesn't matter how many times you try again. You're not limited to that at all. This was in the slide that I gave at HCC. We had an option, as you can see. We had an option of which blockchain, which layer we wanted to release on, and so many interesting brands, so many pros and cons of each one of these. For us, it was a no-brainer to launch on Arbitrum. As mentioned, Prohibition.art is an open on-chain generative art platform, and we are launching on Arbitrum. Actually, we are live as of yesterday. We've got a bunch of new projects releasing, some in the next hour or so. We're working with Ed Balloon on a new project that he's releasing. So check out Prohibition.art. But it was important for us to build on a platform that's future forward, that's usable. We can't say the future, really the mission is for an open and inclusive platform for generative art. Our goal is to bring generative art on chain for everyone. The value proposition for Prohibition is that we're open, we're accessible. And when you're open and accessible, meaning anyone can launch, there's no curation board like some other projects. It's self-service where anyone can anonymously sign in and release a generative art project on the platform. Really accessible. My background is usability and product management, and my team is really focused on design and usability as well. And we've put a lot of attention into our artist tools. We probably spent a majority of our development hours working on the tools that artists touch. And when you make things accessible and open, it allows for a much vibrant and diverse range of artists. It doesn't really matter where you come from. It doesn't matter which country you live. It doesn't matter your background, your accolades, your degrees. Anyone can come and use this platform to create generative art. And we see that in the range of projects already launched in the last 20 hours on the platform. And we're using best-in-class technology. I mentioned we shopped this project around to a bunch of different L2s. We always had Arbitrum in the back of our heads, but for due diligence, we chatted with everybody. We came back to Arbitrum because they're the strongest in terms of support, in terms of users on the network, and the vibes just really lined up with kind of our mission of democratization of generative art. Obviously, in addition to the blockchain of choice, we're also working and building on top of ArtBlock's engine. As I mentioned, it's the first time ArtBlock's tech has been brought to a layer 2. ArtBlocks was waiting for us to decide which chain we wanted to launch on. Once we decided on Arbitrum, they basically recreated their smart contracts so that it could support Arbitrum. And we also have a secondary market that uses Reservoir. So it was really important for us to focus on what we do best as a product team and hand off the underlying technology to the best teams that are out there building some of the best world-class projects. Don't need to tell you why Arbitrum any longer. Additional market share, biggest blockchain, or top 4 blockchains in terms of total value locked. Now I'd like to just kind of take a quick sidebar and talk about this new concept that we're working on right now. It's called the Inclusive Edition. It's like the Open Edition, but the whole goal is to be even more open and accessible. I coined the term. I've been working with the artist, the builder known as Snowfro, Eric Calderon, creator of Snowfro, the creator of ArtBlocks, the creator of the Chromie Squiggle. We've been going back and forth for the last few weeks, trying to, in the context of prohibition, in the context of using NFTs to onboard the next wave of NFT collectors, how do we make these things accessible as possible? So it's an idea that he's been kind of chewing on for the last couple of years, and over the last few months, we've been chatting, and I'm kind of helping him set the context. I named the term Inclusive Edition. He recently tweeted a thread yesterday, kind of digging into why and where this came from. But today we're announcing the idea of Inclusive Edition as a way to bring on new members of the NFT community. So an Inclusive Edition is a generative, open-ended NFT series promoting inclusivity with unlimited supply and lower prices, where participation is open to all and closure is at the creator's discretion. So what that means, it's an open edition, but with these added kind of levers where naturally it's open, so it's unlimited supply. However, we want to make sure that anyone who wants one can get one. So it means low price. It means it gives us flexibility later to, if the price of ETH skyrockets, we can lower the price so that it's relatively stable and accessible for new collectors. And if it feels like the community's kind of rounding out and we're ready to kind of cap the total mint, the creators are able to kind of lower the cap at their discretion. So it's a new concept we're kind of working on. A little bit of alpha for anybody who's interested. This Inclusive Edition is actually a project. We're releasing a project in the next few weeks. We're going to be announcing something in the next few weeks that leverages this Inclusive Edition, and it's going to be on Prohibition. So I'm just really excited for not only be bringing generative art to Prohibition, not only to be bringing ArtBlocks to Prohibition, but as a product builder, launching this platform, but then also releasing my own project on Prohibition. So it really only made possible, it's inclusive. The whole idea is that anyone can join, really only made possible and practical with the Arbitrum network. And that's it. Check out prohibition.art. We're live now. There's a bunch of cool things to mint. It's generative art, fine art on Arbitrum. And you can check it out, prohibition.art. I'm at Jordan Lyall on Twitter, and that's it. Thank you very much.